Hey guys, it's Friday. So I have had an incredibly busy week. Last weekend I was in New Orleans and it wasn't Mardi Gras, it was St. Pat's the week after Mardi Gras, but there's still parades in New Orleans and beads and everything's happening. And so Lauren and Moose and I went to New Orleans, and then one of our clients had an emergency situation start, so we did some calls on the weekend for that project, and then we started doing twice daily calls because it's emergency status. And so all week long we've been doing twice daily calls, and I'm getting a readiness plan together, which I'm about to ship, and we're getting all this other documentation together for them and doing a little impromptu design now that the interim measures are in place already, and we're coming back and doing a permanent design to help with this emergency. So yeah, it's been a super busy week doing mostly that project. I turned in all of my international applications. They've already pulled one project and it's not going to be there anymore, and another one I heard back that I didn't get an interview. So there's 13 more opportunities. Yeah, so it's just been a little bit crazy with everything happening. Though oddly enough, because there's an emergency for this project, I feel like people are very understanding that you're like in an emergency and you're doing that project, and so they're not asking for me to do 800 other things. So I feel like I'm actually doing less work being in an emergency because people are more understanding of the situation, which is very interesting. But yeah, so I've been doing that, and I'm getting ready some thoughts today for something I'm doing next week. I'm going to be in Atlanta. I'm going to be in Atlanta for meetings and getting together some thoughts for that. And I've been kind of redoing my balcony a little bit, so this is my new balcony chair. I'll show it to you when it's done. So yeah, I've been working from my balcony like every day this week that I've been here. And it's just beautiful out. I'm still like kind of losing my voice and coughing a lot, which I guess is just like all of the pollen. I look out, and in the last 2 weeks, none of these trees were green at all, and so it's definitely springtime in Texas. The bluebonnets are out, the Indian paintbrushes are out, and yeah, that's all that's going on in my world this week, which seems like this is a short video, but it'll be interesting to figure out what this design is. I don't think I can say anything about it, but basically we have there's a reservoir that has sand boils, so water from the reservoir is kind of piping out underneath like the toe of the embankment, and as it comes out, it's just like a little spring, and they're in a bunch of places. There was one that they were a little bit more concerned about, and as it's like springing water out, it's bringing sand and sediment with it, and that sediment is what makes up the embankment that's holding the reservoir in. So because of that, we're like literally losing part of the embankment through the embankment. They call it piping, so it creates like a little flow path for that sand to come out. So yeah, they'll put in relief wells, or they'll confine it, or do something to get it to stop piping. So for right now, we've just reduced the level in the reservoir so that there's not enough head on it that's pushing water out. So that's what they're doing now, is reducing the level in the reservoir, and twice daily monitoring, and lots of monitoring and stuff like that. So it's interesting. I'm working on a couple other dams right now too. We got a bunch of dam projects. So yeah, I just getting my thoughts together, lots of documenting and like building reports, and this is what happened, and here's a site trip report for this other project and what we're doing on site, and detailing out some of the construction delays that they have, because it's in a place that is not summer basically, and they were having cold weather, and they were having issues with the rig and being able to drill in the cold weather because they weren't winterizing the rig properly. So yeah, it's been interesting. I'm gonna write an email back to the hiring manager and asking for a little bit of feedback on the application that for the position I didn't get an interview for, and then do the second of the twice daily calls for today and call it a day, because it's so nice out. It's beautiful. Happy weekend, guys.